So Nicki Minaj, Pink Friday 2. So like I said, I did listen to the last episode of Off the Cuff. So firstly, I just want to say, you saying that Nicki has nothing upstairs but ops and orgasms took me the fuck out. I was like, not ops and orgasms. I am done.
I just be saying stuff. That for me was the big theme.
But your critique was exactly the same as mine, basically, with Nicki's album. I was like, I listened to the whole thing Friday morning it came out, and at the end of it, I was just like, this was bad.
This was bad.
Like, this was just not a good album.
I think on Off the Cuff, I was really clear about saying, I know that people can take my opinion with a pinch of salt because I'm not a Nicki Minaj fan. However, what I am a fan of is good music. That wasn't good music. There were a couple of tracks on there that I enjoyed, but I didn't understand what the story was for this album. Like, what is the theme?
Yeah.
Like, what's the
What did
core?
you want
What
to
are the core
achieve?
concepts
Yeah.
of this? She's rapping about her coochie. She's rapping about guns, and she's got hitters, and she's had a son. Apart from that, because you can't talk about.
Why does she always throw in a bar about how she married a gangster? Or she married a kid? I'm like,
So that man is a registered sex offender,
and he's so corny as well. Like, he's not giving what you think he's giving. So every time she raps a bar like that, I get so much secondhand embarrassment for her.
There's so many times over the past couple of weeks, I have been so shy on behalf of Onika Mirage. Because that stream that she did with Kai Cenat, I was so shy for her.
Oh my God,
shy.
we'll get on to that. I'm so glad that you brought that up.
So shy.
Oh my God, that's so interesting. Okay, well, let's table that for a second because I definitely want to ask you about that as well. 'Cause a lot went down with this rollout and Nicki Minaj drama in general. Surprise, surprise. But where it comes to the actual album, I definitely agree with you. Like, in terms of like, there was no like growth or progression from Onika Mirage, who we know from Pink Friday. Like, I get that this was a sequel, so she tried to kind of keep with the tone of Pink Friday. But number one, I don't like it when rappers that we know for rapping sing for most of their albums. It really bugs me. And that was like literally 75% singing.
Dislike all the songs that I dislike most from Nicki Minaj are the ones where she is
singing. Yeah, me too. I'm not a huge fan of her singing songs.
Whole career. I don't like it.
I like her rap, and I like her like properly rapping as well.
Nicki,
like,
she
not
can rap.
Throwaway rap. Yeah, exactly.
She can rap. Like, we absolutely cannot take that away from her.
Yeah.
But this album, I think it was disappointing in terms of being a sequel or part two. The rollout was disappointing and scary.
Yeah, she's lucky that they had Gag City to help her, because I actually did. That was the first time I said to myself, you know, it's actually nice to see the Barbs not being crazy for a week.
They're
and just
so crazy.
Engaging and fun. Like, do you know what I mean?
It was really wholesome.
Yeah, it was. Like, I was like,
very
you know what? You lot, it would be nice if you would stay like this, but I know it's not going to happen. But but yeah, like, that was a really, really good, like, I guess, unofficial campaign for her, because it brought so much. I remember I saw Miss Banks and like a couple other rappers tweeting about it. I was like, what are they talking about? And then I had to look for it. I was like, oh, this is so cool. This is really, really, and they had like influencers and like content creators where they make AI versions of them entering Gag City. I was like, this is really cool.
I mentioned it on the pod as well. In terms of what the fans did, you can't pay for that level of marketing.
Facts, yeah.
It's not a campaign that someone can create that would have that level of success. I think there are some things that have to happen organically, and that was one of them.
Yeah,
so definitely have to give it to them. Those pictures were everywhere. I had like global brands, small brands, people, like everybody.
And
was
it looked
involved.
so. It was very aesthetically pleasing as well.
Really,
beautiful, yeah.
Considering
I was like, I love this.
Considering lots of different people had their input as a whole, it was so like. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It's just such a massive shame that that's what they were going so hard for.
Yeah.
But that was also one of the reasons that I listened to it. Because the marketing was everywhere.
Mind,
I had no... The guys on the pod always get on to me. Because I won't listen to something if I don't want to listen to it. So they'll be having their music talk and I'll be like, I didn't listen to it. But I thought I really want to get involved...
and I'm glad you did, because, I don't think that they would have had such a long critique about it if you hadn't listened to it. So
it just didn't give what it was supposed to give.
Yeah.
And I haven't been enjoying her music for a while now anyway.
To be honest, she's never been an album artist for me anyway. I personally never get more than a few songs from a project that I like, but I've never really minded that too much, because I've liked the songs that I like enough So it didn't, and I actually really liked Queen as well, which surprised me. Like when I first listened to it, I was like, yeah, this is all right, but it actually grew on me a lot, and I still go back to a lot of the songs on there. So I think I had my hopes a little bit higher than they usually would be because of that being her last album.
Yeah.
So when I heard this, I was like, oh. And it also made me think, sorry, because I just gave the Barbs a compliment, but I think that this is where having such like passionate standship that will appreciate anything she does, I feel like this is where it doesn't help her as an actual artist because she's lowered the bar.
Yeah.
That is not a good project. Like the songs itself, outside of her actual delivery, are not good. The majority of them. And a lot of them, like there was only 2 or 3 songs I could say she's going off. Like the rest of it was very lazy for
TikTok
her.
songs.
Like lazy. I was just like, and this is what, like a 22 song, I think, album? How can all of it be trash? Like, no offense, but like, and I really like Barbie Dangerous and I like Falling For You. Those are my 2 songs. And that Everybody song, I don't love it, but I know it's going to make a great workout song. So when I start going to the gym again, I feel like I might like that song better.
I like that song as a snippet.
Yeah.
You know, when you see it on someone, that's a gift and a curse, because I don't think artists should be making, when you listen to that, you know what that song is for. That's not to chart, if you know what I mean, or to please the fans. That is
to get the TikTok dances and
to get the numbers. Fine. I like that snippet as that, but listening to the whole song, I was like, this actually makes my brain itch.
Quite like you would never, outside of the gym, it's not a song you would listen to. Like it's just it's too much. I don't know what it is. It just feels like too much hyperactivity on one song for me. I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels like a lot going on.
The samples felt lazy.
The sample, the girls just want to have fun one bugged me. Because I was like, what's this for? Just to remind us how great Cyndi Lauper is on that song? Because that's all it's doing.
What was the one at the beginning with Billie Eilish?
Something, are you something? Something lonely?
I
know which one, the intro.
I like that Billie Eilish. And I'm just like, okay, I can understand if you've just lifted. That's like when someone says, copy my homework, but make it different.
But make it,
Lady, did you try? Did you try? I know that she also came under fire because she was selling the vinyls as
yes.
They said that the vinyls wouldn't count towards her sales because the vinyls only had 10 songs of the 22 on there, so it's not actually the album. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's something
why that
different.
They removed the competition because she counted the vinyls? Because basically Billboard said they were going to take away 100,000 of her sales because of the contest she was running with the Barbs, and which basically she said that they should buy the album 4 times, whether it be digital downloads or whether it be physical copies, and she included the vinyls in that. And and once you've done it, send me screenshots and you're in with a chance to win this competition. Yeah. So they said that she can't do that, basically. So is that because she was complaining that, why can't I do it if other people have been able to do similar contests, blah, blah, blah. Maybe this is why then. If the vinyls were a part of that and the vinyls don't actually count as an album, maybe that's why then.
I also did hear what they said about her having people buy multiple versions.
Yes, that they shouldn't be doing that, which I agree, because that's kind of cheating.
Yeah, because like what?
Like as in Barb's like encouraging each other to like remove the album and keep buying it, and it's like you can't.
Like, that's not. It's skewing the numbers because if you have 100,000 sales, the premise there is that 100,000 people have listened to your music.
Yeah, bought your music. If it's the same people over and over again, it doesn't.
Especially because when we look at the charts, it's you want to look at reach and popularity. The reach and popularity is going to be very different if 100,000 individual people have bought it compared to if 50,000 people have bought it twice. Do you know what I mean? Or oh my God, maths, 25 maths, please.
Yeah, I know, no, trust me. I'm not even following you because I'm so bad at maths, so don't worry about it.
I tried so hard. That makes more sense. But she's just a scary babe.
Honestly.
She's always frightened me a little bit.
She's a bit of an eerie person, isn't it? Because it's like, I almost sometimes wonder if, like, you know, this act she plays, like this like character that she's always in. I'm like, I wonder if this is actually who you just moved into. Like, because I always just assume you take that off when you go home. But are you actually just like this? Like,
yeah, I think she is actually just like that, like just a bit.
Maybe that's why she fits in with the Kai Senats or whatever. So you didn't agree that because this was one of the times where when I saw Elliot Wilson and what he said about like hip hop journalism, did you see that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so basically like obviously as you've seen clips of her on Kai's live stream, and Elliot retweeted it or commented on it saying hip hop journalism, basically salty that Nicki's not making the rounds on like platforms like his and other hip hop journalists, and she's going to like content creators like Kai. I was like, I can understand them feeling some type of way if that's like literally her replacing it for interviews. But at the same time, I'm not mad at her going to new content creators because she's also taken a picture with that funny Marco guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like that's just where we're at now with the media. It's just changed a little bit. Like you do have to pay attention to, you know, the more different content creators that are maybe younger and not as versed in hip hop or music like that. But it, you know, helps in terms of in terms of marketing in general. So I wasn't necessarily mad at that, but I think you feel something different.
My gripe with that, her going on the stream is one thing, because when Offset did the Kai Cenat stream, I enjoyed that, or the bits that I saw. It was quite just light-hearted fun. It seemed like an older brother and a younger brother just having fun, just having a good time. With Nicki, she is someone that strikes me as someone who's very hungry for attention, just likes the attention to be on her. And there were just certain things like she's twerking, she's got her legs open.
I don't know why
I'm like, this is a very young. He's so young.
Yeah, I think that's why. Yeah, because it's a bit of a young crowd.
He's so
and you're like grown.
You're like 40 something.
Yeah, so it's a bit okay.
And just, it's not her going to Kai. It's her behaviour when she was on there.
Okay.
Because you're right, things change now. Whereas people previously would have had their official sit-downs with Oprah and all the rest of it, now it is definitely more digestible content. Funny Marco.
I like him.
I love
really
his
like
interview
his stuff.
stuff. The way we consume media has changed, so that is understandable that we're not just going to have like traditional news outlets anymore. We're going to have these platforms.
Yeah.
But you are a big grown woman that you show up 4 hours late. I don't even care about that. But
was she late?
Apparently she was supposed to be on at 11 and didn't get there till 3.
Oh, God. She's
and
always
then
late as well. I guess a lot of people are, but yeah, I remember even when I listened to Queen Radio, sometimes they'd just be playing the DJ set for time because she's not there. I'm just like, girl, how you late to your own show?
You're on to this, the following that Kai Cenat has. I think it's safe to assume that they're going to be quite young as well.
Yeah.
So who is all of this for? Like, you haven't actually spoken about the album. Let me not say she didn't, because I didn't watch the whole thing, but I didn't see any clips that were speaking about the album.
They played songs, obviously, but yeah, I didn't hear her
She mentioned Pink Friday Perfume a few times.
Okay.
It was just like, what's the purpose? What's the aim here? And if you know that his audience is young, do you think this is appropriate?
This is true.
And
also, I always wonder as well who the Barbs are, because it sounds like a lot of them are young. But then I'm like, but Nicki's been out for a while now. So who's going to be, I don't think any young people like that really like as in would care that much about her music, put it that way, as in like young fans. So even though I'm sure some of them are Barbs or people that like her music, is it going to be received in the same way as it would be if she was on a platform that wasn't just tailored towards younger people, basically?
I just think that because her fan base are so unhinged, that wherever she goes, they will follow with no real pushback. As do you know, you can like your fave, you can love your fave, support them, but still accept and call out when something that they do is a bit sideways. Like the Beyonce. The Renaissance movie in Israel. I love Beyonce.
And a lot of people call Beyonce out for that.
But I can still be like, girl.
Yeah, come on
I don't like that. Fine. But I feel like a lot of her, let me not even say fans, it's the stands that will just ride with her until the wheels fall off. But that's also
because there's definitely Nicki Minaj fans that wanted to see more from her. Because people have been giving her that same critique album after album that she
Yeah.
doesn't really say anything. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we know you're talented. We get that.
Yeah.
But we really don't know that much about your feelings on things. Like, and she does have one or two lines every now and again, if you're listening, that you'll catch one or two. But it's like, why don't you have at least 2 songs on your album where you're really bearing all?
Yeah,
Do you know what I
it
mean?
shouldn't
Like,
just
have
be
that
one
raw
or two
moment.
lines. This is the part 2. There's so much that's happened in your life. You've become a mother. You married that weirdo. There's. I feel like as an artist, there are ways that you can talk about your real life experience without giving everything
because I get
away.
that she doesn't want to talk about him because she knows we hate him, but
Exactly.
at the same time, there's ways of talking about your experience and marrying him and feeling like maybe everybody holds you responsible for what he did. Like, do you know what I mean? Talk about that.
Anything.
Do you know what I mean? There's angles that you can go with
I
it.
think she also comes across as someone who has quite a nasty spirit as well.
Yeah, mean girl energy for sure.
Which doesn't.
Because even like the shots that she takes on the album, like to be fair for her, like in terms of like specifics where it comes to subs, I feel like she actually was trying to not be as much of Nicki Minaj as usual, but like, you know, she took a shot at Lato, she took a shot at Megan. And the Megan one was so unnecessary because Megan didn't do anything to you. Like, she actually didn't do anything to you.
She's so scary.
Do you know what I mean?
She's
Like,
so
when I
scary.
see her take shots at Megan about this whole Tory thing, I'm like, you're literally inserting yourself
Just
to make
like,
fun of this girl for being shot.
Why
for
would
what?
you do that? Why would you actually do that? You scary, scary person.
Like, it's
Just leave her alone.
And do you see her inserting herself now where Cardi and Offset are going through it? Did you see she posted that meme? And I was like, see, this is why people call you a mean girl, because what have Cardi and Offset situation got to do with you? It has nothing to do with you.
Lady.
So it was just so unnecessary.
Your husband can't be around your child.
That's why Cardi said, take your man to a park and leave me alone. I cackled when I read that.
It's just
because
too much.
you cannot talk about anybody's man. Like, you literally can't do it. Like, you can't.
Like, it's just the delusion and the unnecessary. It's not even just pettiness at the moment because by and large, Cardi just leaves that lady alone, and she just.
This is the thing.
And it kind of feels that way. It kind of feels like that happens with everyone that Nicki goes against.
Yeah.
Like,
That they're not really actually doing anything to her like that.
Yeah.
But she feels the need to...
Oh, you worked with that person, or you took a picture with that person.
Basically, that's what it is. They're all, like, none of them are on that... Essentially, unless you're going to lick her ass, like the Akbars and them, man, that, you know...
So scary.
and not being funny, but they don't really be working, like, their careers are not doing what, like, the Beers and that. They're not in the same spaces as them because they've made that choice.
Yeah.
Because they're cutting themselves off from women that Nicki don't like. So because they won't do those same things, Nicki is now mad at them. It's like, why are you internalizing that as something they are doing to you? They don't have any investment in whatever this beef is with Cardi. Like, why would they not work with her? Like, she's basically, that's why she doesn't like Meg, because she did what? And it's just like, why would she not? Like, I don't understand.
But you know what? You can't make sense out of nonsense.
You really can't.
That is the black bottom line there. I think this whole drama that she's inserted herself in with Cardi and Offset, it's just spiteful, mean-spirited. This lady is very clearly hurting